till 2 a.m. Still got game in the tank. Turn the page, check the score. Then I slide to the rank. Opinionated MJ. Spit it clean, keep it real. Live on collecting all the hits. Connecting every deal. From the hardwood to the mic. I keep the run down tight. One more run, one more take. For the one still up tonight. Say it loud, say it clear. Who got the stats right here? Show report, big heart. I bring the game near. All until 2 a.m. All until 2 a.m. Sports update, here we go. Let the whole room know.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we not sports updating today. It's your boy Opinionated MJ with my boys back once again, ladies and gentlemen. The boy Reezy, aka Ron, and my boy Neil, aka Classic. He down there, he chilling. You muted, sir, if you don't know. But yes, this is another comic book edition because we got Spider-Man out here on the loose, ladies and gentlemen. He doing his thing, and we just want to give y'all a review. I'm just gonna give y'all a heads up. Spoilers, spoiler alert. So go watch the movie. Turn this off right now. Cut it off. You know, if you just watching this on YouTube later, once it's already published, turn it off. Spoilers. I don't want to get y'all mad like, oh, you told me what's happening. No, just go watch the movie first and then come back. Because we go left, right, and everywhere. You know what I mean? Like we go into theories, thoughts. Reezy is basically the Marvel history book. So we got the history book on hand, and Neil is loaded with theories. So I guess just jumping out the window, like Kanye. How did you feel about the movie?
Oh man, let me tell you that A+. That movie is an A+ in my book. You know, I think it's safe to call it for me that, and this is not recency bias, Tom Holland is my Spider-Man. He's been in more appearances and has a more fleshed out character development, and I can go into more detail later on about that. This movie solidified that in terms of the whole experience, in terms of everything's going out. And I'm gonna try, even though we say spoilers, I'm gonna try to do light spoilers because I want everybody to experience this as much as possible. Go see it for the first time. I gotta go see it a second time.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, no, this movie is A+. It was what I was hoping to see from a Spider-Man movie post everything we saw in Homecoming, Far From Home, and in No Way Home.
Okay. Let's get to Neil. Or no, we gonna save you for last. For me,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Probably turn it down a little bit. You reverbing a little bit, but it's all good. It's not irritating. But
I ain't trying to get the crip walking.
That's just the song. The intro it just goes so hard. But
it does.
I love the movie as well. All I wanted, and me and Neil discussed this on the phone like while I was working, was for Spider-Man to mistakenly kill somebody. That's all I wanted. You know what I mean?
Well, he almost did. He almost gave you that.
I mean, almost. I just wanted, after I seen him sling Scorpion on that car, bro, I just was like, please, mistakenly kill somebody. Go Black Eye Spider-Man and just, oh, I lost it. Like, you know, just seeing the trailer, it just made me feel like he was gonna kill somebody. I'm just like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Like, and me and Neil had a discussion where it was like, Mike, he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And I'm like, man, forget that, bro. Like, what do the kids rather see? Spider-Man die or Spider-Man mistakenly kill somebody? Like, and then express to them that it's wrong because he would have to deal with the consequences of doing something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, it didn't happen like that. But I was pleased with the movie, like the overall, just what the story was, how really Feige kind of kept it close to the chest about who Sadie Sink was playing, and I really liked that too. Like we didn't see it until then, and then it was like, yeah, it's Jean Grey, and it was like, you know, I took a collective breath, like, okay, so it is her, and and then of course seeing my boy Hulk, you know, that's arguably my favoriteest character in Marvel, just because he crazy. And you know, seeing him in there, and then he just super Diesel. Like I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he got roids or maybe because he was being held back, he's stronger or something. but it was nice to see Hulk, and then just everything else that was going on, Punisher, and I think that this sets up a lot of street level things, potentially even for Spider-Man to pop in if they could work some type of deal out. Maybe they could mask somebody, but don't unmask him in something like that, like a Daredevil series or something for an episode or two. Right. And it just opens the floodgates, bro. Jean Grey opens it up for the X-Men going forward and everything. Like, so I mean, it was the best movie, and then I just feel like the best Spider-Man movie, I should say. And I agree with you. Like, Tom Holland is my Spider-Man too. So much that I was telling Neil, like, I don't know if the next generation of actors, like, they're gonna have to win me over, because the actors that we have now, I'm like attached to them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we'll see what's gonna happen, and that's just my take.
Got you.
So let's go to you, Neil, because Neil, go ahead, be honest, be 100 with us.
What? I enjoyed the movie. It was a great movie.
Okay, that's it.
My only critique is this particular movie didn't have a lot of Spider-Man in it. It had a lot of background Spider-Man in. Like, he did a lot of Spider-Man in the movie, but you didn't see him Spider-Man in the movie. And it was the same thing. I had the same complaint about, like, Batman movies, and he's not detecting anything. Like, you're the world's greatest detective. Go detect. You know, like, if you're a Spider-Man, I shoot somebody with some webs, but he did that. It was like, I just assumed that there would be more action set pieces involving Spider-Man, his like arachnid abilities. Because it's like you got about as much screen time of action as you would in like an Avengers movie, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all. That was
I don't know what you mean.
And that's like grasping at
let's start the friction
to find anything wrong.
Okay.
It was entertaining.
I'm waiting to hear the real.
No, that was it. That was it. Like,
so
just like you were wanting more from the. It's like maybe I'm just burnt out on John Wick, because there's always something happening in John Wick.
Yeah, you're definitely burnt out on John Wick.
That's what it is like. Babe, that's where my attention span is, because of TikTok and shorts. It broke my brain.
You called it.
It's like all this character development and understanding the gears and the mechanisms of the man behind the masks.
Okay,
is interesting, and I enjoyed it. But it's like, I'm waiting on the fight. And y'all, this is the press conference, and I get it. But I just want to see more punchy. That's just me.
More punchy.
That's just my simple reptilian brain.
Oh my God, you a reptilian now?
Like, man, listen, I enjoy Pacific Rim. There's just big robots fighting.
Oh my God. Yo, Reezy,
but it is what it is.
Let Reezy get you.
So here,
listen. I know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
What?
What's going on?
Knowledge.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Here's why I say this is my Spider-Man. It reminds me of, and I said this and I did a write-up. This movie reminded me of reading a 6-issue comic book. Like, I can almost literally pinpoint when one issue would end and another one would begin, just based on the way the movie flowed. And once again, this movie and this series of Spider-Man showcases all aspects of Peter Parker. Peter Parker is intelligent.
Right.
He is highly intelligent. He may not be up there with like a Tony Stark or a Reed Richards, but he can hang with him.
Yeah.
He can hang with him. He is no slouch.
Okay, he can MacGyver some stuff.
No. I'm not. I will not let any slander happen today. It ain't a matter of just MacGyver stuff.
Banners.
Neil's truth is gonna come out.
Yeah, all truths coming out today.
Yeah, it's gonna come out today.
Because the stuff he was creating in that movie was not some MacGyver type stuff. Like he was sitting there hanging with Bruce Banner, talking about how you can, manage, mutations and figuring things out.
That writing right there.
That writing right there
is writing right there. The fact that Peter Parker developed the technology to use on first, he deciphered Bruce Banner's inhibitor, then reverse engineered it to use it on himself, then doubled back again on with the same technology to use it to stifle the mutant gene.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I understand what you're saying.
No, you want it punchy. Now you gotta get this knowledge.
Give it to him.
So you get that aspect of it, and this is where I was saying the difference in the different Spider-Man movies from a pacing standpoint. Mm-hmm. You say that he wasn't just punchy, but he was also trying to figure out, once he understood what the conflict was, he actually was taking the time to actually figure out and investigate what's going on. And that is pure Spider-Man all the way around. So it's not just I'm gonna swing into a fight and just start swinging. I'm actually gonna go into a fight and figure out what's going on.
You're right. And then he used his empathy as a way to decipher that Jean Grey was really the victim of the big government conspiracy, and then having to go back and fight the people he was originally with. And then there's that character element. Not a lot of punchy, a lot of emotion.
Nah. See, because you missing so much. It's like you miss so much richness in that movie that really goes into who Spider-Man is. I mean, the mere fact that the whole premises of it, which is, again, I know we said this is going to be a spoiler review, but the whole premise is that he is in a world where no one knows who he is. But we also realize that the people love Spider-Man. They love
the ending.
So you go through that montage of him going through and having him pretty much make the city safe. Right. So to your point, who was there to punch?
I mean, he smacked Punisher for you. Was that not enough?
Man,
he slung Scorpion. Was that not enough?
You're just giving me all of the highlights of why it was such a well-written movie. It was a excellently written movie. Okay. It showcases why Marvel can make these movies forever, because they can literally pull on so many different aspects of humanity with the facade of these fantasy characteristics of people, when really it's just regular people doing regular things under extraordinary circumstances. And I get it. But punchy, Ron. I wasn't punchy. Oh my God,
Neil, don't you got to build some story around some stuff? So what? So what? Sadie Sink was just supposed to come in, and he was supposed to what? Just pop up on her and just start fighting her?
You can't punch a telepath.
Okay, so wouldn't you want story behind that? Why he couldn't do something?
But you know what? Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Right. This is where I'm gonna blow people's mind.
Okay.
Especially Neil's mind.
Yeah, because he was upset.
all Spider-Man movies have this same sequence. In fact, if you go back and I just finished watching Spider-Man 1, the first one, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Ain't no punchy in that movie.
Huh. You gonna make
there's no punchy in that movie.
Okay.
Until it gets to the very end,
Yeah.
when he's fighting Green Goblin. In fact, that instance of Peter Parker didn't even really care that Green Goblin was out here causing havoc. Green
Right.
Goblin was pursuing him.
Facts. He was at his house eating dinner.
Right.
or invited him or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
He was
Peter,
really into the. He
what's
was
that
really
on your
into
arm?
Yeah. He was really
Oh.
into the woe is me. Oh my God. I
Mhm.
mean, and that's why I was like, I really can't relate to that because yeah, Peter has what they call a Parker luck, but he was never, like a bum.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
that Peter Parker never really used his intelligence to figure things out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Neil.
that one had zero punchy. And then if you go into Spider-Man 2, he quit, knowing Doc Ock was out here causing havoc.
Yeah.
Ain't
That's
no
true.
punchy punch that to the end.
That's
Yep.
why I'm like, I get it.
Nah, you don't get it, but you gonna get it when this is done.
Uh-oh. He said you gonna learn today.
I'm learning. It's like I already knew, but it's like I'm just trying to say.
You gonna learn today.
What so the other aspect of Brand New Day was that you had a Peter Parker who now is super guarded with his identity. So when you say Spider-Man's not punching things, that doesn't mean that Spider-Man wasn't on screen, because he was really on screen more so doing Spider-Man things, one trying to figure out, the abilities. I mean, just interacting in the street. I mean, there's scenes where like, and this is, we see it from the trailers, where Peter Parker's interacting with, people who was taunting him in the street. Like that was like pure, New York, just Spider-Man. You see out here, you out here taunting Spider-Man in the middle of, Fifth Avenue. You know what I mean? Just and he was not taking his mask off, no matter what. Like, nah, you can't see me. Like, legit. So
unlike
I don't know.
Superman, Neil.
You must have been watching the Cliff Notes movie, because I got all the Spider-Man and then some.
Oh,
this
you
Listen,
just got Neil.
I'm like, I knew I was just bringing like a 20-point performance on somebody dropping a 50 piece night. Like I know, I get it, I understand.
So you just Jordan Clarkson today, just having a hot game, and Reezy is
I'm just clocking.
Hitting you with the Jokic 50 point right now. That's what this is.
And man, I get it, and it's thorough.
Right. Yeah. And it make a lot of sense, because
it makes, because it's like it was already a good movie. So
right. It had a lot of action.
Everything was. I wanted not to like it, because it does have a lot of movies.
That's your issue
going on, but I couldn't, because it was executed so well.
There it is.
Yep. He just told on himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm not, because it's like
you went into it comparing it like the other fans do. No, you needed to not do that. You needed to let him have his own clean slate.
I'm gonna tell you the whole rationale of what I thought going into the movie before I saw the movie. I'm like, there was no reason for the Hulk to be in the movie.
Why?
He's just gonna get thrown in. The
X-Men,
the way that they're gonna introduce the X-Men isn't gonna be satisfying. It's just gonna be, well, here go the X-Men. They're just gonna throw them out there like dice and call it a day. They didn't do that. They did everything. They executed everything so well. I can't be upset.
I see.
It's like they stuck the landing. Like, God, like I can't.
It's just Jean Grey, bro. And I don't understand why you don't like Hulk being in it. Like, I don't get.
No,
that.
it wasn't that I didn't like it. It was that it didn't feel like it fitted. But it's a New York movie, and that's kind of a New York
thing.
Hulk.
Yeah, so, Hulk destroying buildings.
It's funny. It's funny you bring up that take, because I remember and this is not a youth thing, classic, but I remember when after Avengers, when when MC went into phase 2, and then you had Thor: The Dark World, you had Iron Man 3, and then Captain America: Winter Soldier. Everybody that like the internet chatter was, well, where's the other people at? They around, aren't they? And it's like, no. First of all, these 3 movies all happened around the same time. Thor is off in Asgard. You know, Iron Man 3. Tony's in California. Steve is in DC. Like they're in different locations.
Right.
Like, so no, they're not in New York. But the fact, and this is the point of now having this connected universe, just like the comic books, you can, you know, like I said, issue number 3 of Spider-Man. Oh, look, Punisher showed up. Or issue number 3. Oh, there goes, you know, Peter has an idea. Let me go talk to my boy Bruce, because Bruce is the expert in this area here. So that's why I felt like reading a comic book, because yes, they're there. Oh, I need a lead. Let me go holler at, you know, Black Widow.
Right. And I was surprised she showed up in the movie.
So it was like it's now it's acknowledging, like, yeah, these people are here, because I can almost assure you somebody somewhere would have had some, well, where was such and such? They in New York, where this person at? So it was for me, that's like, when I see things like that, that is the icing on a well-made cake.
Right.
And then to see how they integrate everybody into the mix, it was, you know, spot on. Like, you got Punisher. We knew he was there, and what's he doing? He's crime fighting too. And so, you know, they would run into each other, especially if you got, you know, this random tank going down the street harming people, and sure enough, Punisher come in, guns blazing. So, you know, that made it feel right to me. So, you know, I go into these movies thinking, hey, just tell a good story, tell your story, tell a good story, and I'll be locked in. So, you know, so what I would recommend, classic, is you gotta stay in the present moment.
But yeah, that's what
you can't be worrying about how this group gonna be introduced, how the group gonna be introduced. Just stay in the present moment. All we know right now is we saw a mutant. We saw Jean Grey. That's it. What's she doing after this movie? We'll find out when that movie comes out. You know, we know that Bruce Banner tried to have a normal life as a professor, you know, at the university. He ain't doing that no more. Where he's gonna be next, we'll find out when we see him again in Doomsday.
So you think he will be in Doomsday?
I think he'll be in Doomsday. I think he'll be in Doomsday.
Oh my God! This is
right.
I hope he don't get hit in the throat again, like Thanos hit him.
Well, no. And I'll tell you why that same sequence won't happen. And I love the way this sort of side quest story of Hulk has been playing out, because, like you said, Marvel can't make a full Hulk movie the way they would like to. So they have to tell in pieces parts. So when you think about all the times you've seen Hulk, when he was in Thor Ragnarok, he was on Sakaar for about two or so some odd years. Yeah. And you know, I'm not gonna say he kind of gotten soft, but you notice he wasn't as big as you saw him in Brand New Day. Right. So that version of the Hulk kind of got comfortable. So when that Hulk fought Thanos, he wasn't as tapped in as he could be. And then when he became, when he got locked in and became, Professor Hulk, and they have merged the psychics together, he was big, he was strong, but again, not as strong, again, not as angry. Right. When you saw Hulk in Brand New Day, that Hulk, he was angry. Yeah. And the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
And apparently the taller and bigger.
Right. And
so zanier.
Right. So that was just anger right there. So that's why even that little nugget where you see the different size comparisons between the two in that moment, I was like, yo, this is where it's an MCU, just take my money, man. Just give me a date. Tell me the movies, give me a date. I don't need to see a trailer. I'll be there because I trust you're gonna make it right.
He said, I don't need to see a trailer.
That's
So
what I mean. So it's like, how long can they keep people invested? And it's like Marvel keeps striking gold with casting and then putting things together in sequential order, despite the fact that you're only getting things a tidbit at a time, even though you're investing like hours into these moments in time for real.
Yeah. So for me, as long as they do three things, I know for me, and I think the vast majority of people will stay invested.
Take notes, Feige.
Number one, tell your story. Just tell your story. Forget the internet chatter. Forget all this here about what people, oh, I want to see this little moment and this and that. Just tell your story. If your story means that these two characters need to connect, but not these two characters, tell that story. Just tell it.
Yeah.
Number two, keep going in the bag with new characters. That way we could see the vastness of the MCU. You know, imagine if we didn't have the Black Widow movie with Scarlett Johansson, the one that people keep, trashing on because it came out late in their minds, but it came out in perfect timing for me because that movie introduced the new Black Panther, Red Guardian, the Red Room, all these new characters that you're now seeing in these movies. But imagine if we didn't have that movie.
Right.
You may not have had Black Widow in this movie. So
that's true.
Keep introducing new characters and figure out ways to introduce those characters in intricate ways that make sense. And then number three, just keep, like you said, with the casting. I would say if you can cast unknowns or barely knowns, keep doing that. Don't run to the glitz and glamour trying to cast all these A-list stars because those set expectations.
Unless they're gonna play like a Samuel L. or Angela Bassett-ish type role, like where they kind of they are a factor, but they are still background. You know what I mean? Like they just tie things together.
Yep.
Okay.
Like those type of roles. Not a prime, you know what I mean? We about to have you for 10, 15, 20 years role. Like
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm with
that. See, what's it called when you get 3 strikes in a row or 3 home runs, a hat trick of whatever that is, Ryan. You just did it.
That's soccer.
Yeah, that's the hat trick.
It might be that in baseball.
Like the park run, whatever that is. Yeah, that's what that was.
Grand slam.
Whatever it is, whatever sport analogy, cricket.
You're talking about cricket.
well, I'll give you a perfect comparison, right? When in the DCEU, when Man of Steel came out, I was a fan of Man of Steel. I thought that movie was great. Then they said we're gonna switch. They bought the hype. Let me gonna go right into Batman v Superman. Okay, you made that choice.
This is their Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or Superman.
You made that choice. Stick with it. Once they realized, oh no, we didn't, this movie didn't do well. Then they said, well, what's Marvel doing? Oh, Marvel's doing this. Then they started to pivot and they started to change things up a bit. And that was the beginning of the end for the DCEU. No, man, just tell your story.
Right.
Tell that story.
Right.
And forget, and the reason why they were pivoting was because people was like, Superman doesn't kill. Superman wouldn't trash Metropolis like that fighting Zod. It made perfect sense to me. You mean to tell me, Zod's coming down here to tear stuff up, and you're gonna reason with him and tell him, let's go to a empty desert?
Yes.
He ain't listening to you. He's gonna keep tearing stuff up. So you gotta
Vegeta that man. Vegeta that man.
you gotta fight him where he's at. So it made perfect sense to me. But DC blinked and started changing things up, and then they couldn't recover. And no matter what chatter is going around on the internet, no matter how people get upset or try to make controversy, but there isn't, the MCU just keeps telling their story. And that is why part of why they keep hitting these home runs, because they're like, once you get to the, people were trashing Avengers Age of Ultron when it came out.
Yes,
it's
they
too
were.
much.
Like
It's
a
too
lot.
much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too much. I don't understand why they blah 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 blah. Now they go back and say, oh, it's goated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
they have been doing that
because now they got the full story. People,
I mean, yeah, you gotta admit they did a terrible job introducing what would eventually
I don't.
start.
How was that terrible?
They just showed up in the jail
cell.
Who? Scarlet Witch and
I mean, but they
didn't. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. They told you their backstory, and then it came to more light when we went to WandaVision.
Yeah,
but it was like they just dropped them into the.
I mean, what more do you need? How much more do you need? So Neil, you want every character to have their own 2-3 hour movie before we do
those are the two examples of how the same thought was introduced and one was done better, executed better than the other, which goes to show how much better they're getting at creating these stories.
No, I disagree. They did a perfect job. They did a perfect job introducing them. I think it was at the end of Winter Soldier where you had Von Strucker, and you knew two things. Von Strucker had the staff, and you knew that they were working on enhanced individuals, and that's when you first saw the twins.
And that was a lot. That statement in itself has a lot of information because you have the super serum, the super soldier serum. You got technically a piece of the Infinity Gauntlet, and you got enhanced humans, which is basically just code word for mutants. So it's like they have Weapon X right there.
No, don't see you going too far into it. They gave you what you need to know, and then when you got the Age of Ultron, you saw the twins in action. You knew that they hated Tony Stark because of what he did, because of the bombs that he was throwing or the weapons that he was making, and they trashed their home, and that they were being manipulated, and because of that caused Ultron. That was all you needed to know in that moment. They were introduced perfectly fine, and then at that point, you had Wanda join the Avengers at the end of that, to round out that arc. Now they did, Quicksilver dirty, but that was because of stuff between Marvel and Fox. That would be the one thing that, again, real life getting in the way. I wish we could have had MCU Quicksilver a little bit longer, but they were introduced just fine. The thing is, like, tell your story. That was the story. That's what you need to know, and they pulled you through from end to end that aspect of the characters. That was fine.
You see, that's why there needs to be more use making stuff like this, just to keep people from trying to outdo try to win a guessing game for what will work and what wouldn't work. You know what I mean?
But Ryan's saying it. Just do what you do, because now they call Wanda the mother, bro. Like, get on Twitter or something and just type in Wanda Maximoff, bro, and just look at how heralded she is. I feel the same way about her. You know what I mean? Like, I want Wanda back. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you just thinking about how you saying it, like, oh, Wanda got introduced like this and that, but I mean, she still got over. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to tell the story, bro. That's right. Just tell the story.
And the reason why I'm okay with, because folks were like saying, oh, Scarlett Johansson should have had her own movie. Well, not at the time they were going out, because she did have her movie, because she was co-star with Chris Evans in Winter Soldier. That was as much her movie as it was his, because her character developed in a way that from end to end, moving from being locked in 100% with SHIELD to then at the very end saying, pretty much SHIELD can go to hell.
Right.
And knowing that SHIELD saved her from the Red Room, just as much as Shield helped make Captain America back in his movie, although Shield was just kind of formulating. They both had a rosy tinted view of Shield when the movie started, and they both had to understand that they were both being manipulated by the time it ended. She had an amazing character arc in that movie. That was her movie too. And so the whole purpose of Black Widow when it came out was to introduce the new Black Widow, was to introduce Red Guardian, was to introduce the Red Room, and let people know that these entities are out here too. But the only way they can really tell that story was to have her go back home. The only reason she went back home was because of the Sokovia Accords.
Right.
And she had no family because the Avengers were broken up.
Right. That's true.
So it made perfect sense. And in the comic world, that tends to happen. You'll have a character that's been out in the wild for years, and then at a certain point, somebody will say, well, let me tell this person's backstory, or let me tell a singular story about this person. It would be a 6-issue series. Let me tell the story to kind of flesh out their character a bit more. And sometimes you get some of the best character development in that 6-issue series because you've just seen them hanging out with a team or doing something else, and you're not really able to invest in that person. And so, yeah, that's why for me, it's like, yeah, okay, again, tell your story. And we also got to see, what's her name? The Contessa, right? We got to see her. She was introduced in that movie as well at the end credit scene when she sent new Black Widow after Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So that movie is dense.
Yeah.
With a lot of new characters that are now being fleshed out and used now. Without that movie, you don't get Thunderbolts.
Nope.
Right? You don't get Thunderbolts.
We don't know nothing about Valentina like that.
Right.
Nope.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, again, tell your story.
Yeah.
I agree. That you did bring it all back around with the Thunderbolts, because they basically spoon-fed you all of their stories to get you to the point where you could watch a new Avengers movie and understand what's going on and what their motivations are and why they're doing what they're doing.
Right.
Which is a testament to excellent writing. But I feel like that's a testament to the fact that you have most of the story storyboarded for you before you even have to commit anything to film.
I mean, don't look that hard into it, bro. Like, it's just connective tissue. It's just boom, dear writer, this is where we're going with this. So formulate this how you see fit for it to go. And then, we'll bounce ideas off each other. Whatever sticks with us, whatever doesn't. And then just go from there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just, I don't know. Like, what are they supposed to do? Freestyle?
Nah, it's you got the guardrail, so it's like I get why it's difficult to brick, but it's fascinating to see what works.
Understood. I mean, just look at it like you got a baby, like, and by baby I mean like a project or something that you created, and you want to hire people, a team under you in order to help execute your vision. That's all that this is, pretty much. And you're just getting some of the most talented people to help you do it. You know what I mean? Right. In certain areas, in the areas that matter.
You're never going to
like Dustin Daniel Cretton, or you know what I mean, or RDJ coming from needing just a redemption on his life at the time. You know what I mean? Like as an actor and stuff like that. And just things fall into place. And it just so happened to fall into place perfectly for Marvel. You know what I mean? Like, we just got to take it for what it is. They're one of one, bro. That's why everybody hates them. That's why the haters hate them. Because it's like, how did you get like this?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, it's just fascinating to see the stories unfold, because it's like how they get from point A to point B.
Let's theorize about it then.
But that's what that's why Ryan is like the most person to talk to about it, because he knows the beginning, middle, and end of all of the stories for real. Right. So it's like, hey, they just so happened to show this. He's like, yeah, issue 37 on page. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
but here's the
that's why these conversations are like
Mm-hmm.
fun to have.
Yep, because of Reezy.
well here's the
both
beauty
of
of it though, right? Here's the beauty of it. I don't want a one-to-one reenactment of what's in the comic books.
Right.
I don't walk into these movies expecting to see the exact same thing. I can go into my, my bin and pick up and read. And the reason why is because there's so many little nuances in those books that you just can't put on the screen. So it would almost cheapen the moment. What I want the MCU to do is tell their story. And where you can drop in little nuggets here and there, like my comic brain, I'll pick it up. Just like for example, when and I was telling you all about this offline, but when Jean Grey got into the Hulk's head, he was Professor Hulk, and they was fighting and all that, and then you see Hulk, pushing her out essentially, and he turned back to Bruce, but then he said, "Hey, something broke in my head, something's wrong," and then Hulk came out. That kind of sequence happened in the comic books. It was Jean Grey who turned Professor Hulk into Savage Hulk in the comics.
So you saw this coming?
No, but
I didn't know that.
That's the wrong way of looking at it. I didn't see it coming, but I was glad to see that nod happen in the movie, because it went back to a sequence that happened in the books, and of course is not the exact same thing. I'll just go into it. Like in the comic books, the way it happened was everybody was fighting Onslaught, and they got to the last issue where they're going to make their last push, but there's Professor Hulk. Professor Hulk wasn't strong enough to really go toe to toe with Onslaught, so he asked Jean to help unlock the Savage Hulk.
Oh,
and so she was able to go into his mind and undo the stuff that was done, pretty much break the psyches apart, and then the Savage Hulk was able to come out. So when that sort of sequence happened in the movie, again, not the exact same thing because Bruce didn't ask her to do it. It was kind of a quote unquote accident, but I was like, okay, that made sense to me. I got it. That was like, that was a good nod to something that happened kind of sort of in the books. So that those are the nuggets for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now
like
to
that.
Which characters franchise do you feel was the best representation of the comic books?
Probably Jane, to be honest.
You talking about from this movie, or
I'm just saying, like in general, because I didn't realize like you were like a Ghost Rider fan. Like I would have never thought that was the first comic book that like drew your attention. Because I was a Spider-Man guy. I am
me too. Me too.
a regular smegular Cheerio Spider-Man. Like I wasn't expecting Ghost Rider, and now they're doing a Ghost Rider movie. And now with them doing the that's why I sent you the one thing talking about Moon Knight, that they could do the Midnight Suns, because they got all the ingredients, and I wanted to know how you felt about it. And also, my previous question was because I'm thinking of like Superman for DC, Wolverine for Marvel as far as movies go, but comparing them to the actual comic book itself, which characters franchise best represented the comic? You know what I mean? The source material.
Different. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if like the most consistent. This is how I'm going to interpret best. The most consistent representation I've seen on screen to date would probably be Daredevil.
Nice.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay.
Would be Daredevil.
Is there
Uh,
any particular reason why, in your mind, that works? So, because in my assumption, it would be because he's a street level hero, so that makes it kind of now I want to say easier, but you know what I mean. Simpler to
uh, no, I
but
mean,
let
so
that
it's
answer go.
no, it's a grounded. It's so I'm not gonna say street level. It's a grounded series. I mean, you essentially have a blind lawyer who has learned to enhance his abilities, through the training, through the skill, rooted in religion. So he's deeply rooted in his Catholic faith, and wrestling with the fact of being Daredevil, but also knowing that justice has to be served. So he constantly wrestles with his conviction. And then opposite to him, you have the Kingpin, who just has a stranglehold over the city. And when they brought out, when they introduced Bullseye, or Poindexter, in season 3 of the Netflix series, that there couldn't have been when you talk about a slow burn of character development, how you see them, they're in some ways mirror opposites of each other. And if you go back to the fight sequence, I think it was episode 6, when Matt Murdock fights Bullseye for the first time. The way that choreographed fight scene was laid out, Bullseye had to stay at least an arm's distance away, because he can hang with Matt as long as he can keep him at bay by throwing things, because his accuracy is perfect. Up close, Matt's getting on him. You know what I mean? So just to show that back and forth between each other, and the accuracy of like just the way they're trying to figure each other out. Because first of all, Bullseye can't understand why he's missing, because Bullseye doesn't miss except when he's fighting Daredevil. So he's trying to figure out why he can't miss. Daredevil's trying to figure out why he is so accurate, because he's trying to get around him, and every time he get a whiff, he's throwing something that is hitting him. So he's trying to figure out how they're invading each other. It was just a perfect sequence, and that's how, again, if you were to pick up a comic book with them really fighting, especially written by like a Joe Quesada, you're like, man, this is out the books. So that, I would say, is the most consistent depiction across the board with the characters would be Daredevil.
And that's super fascinating that you say Daredevil, because most of the action is like kinetic. It's like punching and kicking and throwing batons, things of that nature. Nothing supernatural. You know what I mean?
Probably how Daredevil carries himself, true to his actual character too, though.
Right.
But it's not like laser eyes. It's not super strength. It's very human. Right. But yeah, I feel like that his story probably translates better to film media because of that. And I feel like you lose a little bit. There's more to lose when you're trying to illustrate superpowers that are like fantastical.
I get what you mean.
Yeah,
like, just overpowered.
Yeah, I if I was to translate or tell what you said, people, if you have someone where people know that there's going to be some super feats or strength or whatever, people are expecting the spectacle. But Daredevil is not that, right? Daredevil is not that. But so you can pair him up with other street level beings, like in season 2 when they introduced the Punisher. And, again, that first sequence, they're trying to figure each other out. Punisher knows exactly his convictions. He is going to put them down, and they're going to stay down. And so they can have that, fight back and forth. And Punisher's trying to figure out how far Daredevil's actually going to go. I think season 2, episode 4, probably one of my favorite episodes in that season, because it showcased, the back and forth between them. And then, after Daredevil had enough, he had to you know, he had to knock Frank Castle out, but Frank already blew up, you know, a bunch of bikes, you know, down there. So now the biker gang's after Daredevil. Daredevil has a gun taped to his hand. What you gonna do? Right. So I mean, it was just like, you know, and then when he realized that I think there was only one bullet in the chamber or one bullet in the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So Daredevil kind of smiled like, oh, okay, you were just testing me. But now he's still got the gun taped. So now he's beating people with the gun because he also has to get Frank out of there because Frank's knocked out. It was like just a great sequence of events. So yeah, I would say Daredevil. Now I'm gonna go opposite. I'm gonna hit you with a hot take. I don't
hot
think
takes about easy.
Yeah, I don't think any depiction of the X-Men in the Fox universe to date has been accurate.
Why did you use the word accurate?
Because the characterization of these characters are extremely important to me. Because again, if I don't want to see a beat by beat of the comic books, I need to see characterization. I need to see that this is the character that's from the books. And that's also why the MCU has been so successful, because you see, like, Captain America is how you're going to see Captain America in the books, the characterization of him, not the storylines, but the character.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Holland, Peter Parker is how you're going to see Peter Parker in the books, especially if you read the Ultimate comic books. That's how you're going to see Peter Parker. But when I say for the X-Men, especially if you go back to, you know, X-Men 1, 2, 3, Scott Summers is never whiny. And while he may not have appreciated, you know, Wolverine for pushing up on Jean, he never cried about it. Like, Scott Summers is that guy.
Nice.
You know, Storm. I mean, I love Halle Berry. Storm, she was portrayed horribly in that. Like, Storm is a goddess.
Yeah,
and always has been depicted as such, as a goddess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Never
on levels.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
You know, and the way they were bouncing X-Men in and out, you know, was kind of these paper thin characterizations. You know, I mean, you can watch X-Men 97, and that is a very close depiction of the X-Men. And you don't, and I'm not going to settle for the excuse that, well, it's animated. That has nothing to do with it. Right. They're written better.
Right. Yeah, because that was all Fox too. That was Fox.
Right.
Just trying to push something out.
Right.
Yes, sir. You got anything else, Neil? Before I flip this back to Spider-Man.
No, we're I'm fine.
I wanted to know from what? Final what?
No, I couldn't ask for anything more. This has just been
it's my turn to ask. It's my turn. Okay, so we got spoil again, people watching, all 700 of you, thank y'all for tuning in. But okay, so at the end of Spider-Man, we see the spider tracker.
Yep.
What do you think is happening? Because I think that either he hopped on a ship, maybe, you know, from the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, and supposedly the rumors too, a little bit of mixture of it. I have listened to some of the rumors about them saying, oh yeah, but then they end up on a ship with Reed and them and blah 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 blah. So a part of me is thinking he's either on a ship, and then maybe it's someone else's theory of, oh, there's an incursion that happened in not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man got brought, or maybe his Earth, or maybe him got brought into this universe. What I just want to know, really, just what did you take from the post-credit scene? Because that's been like controversial to people.
Oh, well, okay. Well, here's what I got from it.
Is it zooming out?
We about to get facts.
Is the tracker zooming out?
Only one person is going to survive Doomsday.
What?
And that person is going to recreate their world. and they're going to
Strange.
bring people into this new world, and that's how you're going to get Secret Wars. Secret Wars.
So who's the person
Doom.
that's gonna survive?
Yep.
So
And
do
he
you
and, and he's
ultimate
gonna and as he picks people to join his new world, Spider-Man will be one of those people.
or hey Ron, just throwing this out there, could he do the ultimate universe?
Wow. Wow. The
Would that
ultimate
work?
universe.
Well, there's only going to be one universe. The multiverse is going to be done after Secret Wars.
Done.
Yep.
So will there be multiple Earths in this universe?
With the Loki plot thread and
That mean okay, so Neil, that mean what you think about Loki going forward? That mean Loki dead, bro.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, that mean Loki will
I
be
was
dead.
like trying to figure out like what happened. But if it's over, it's over, which is like it's that's
That mean the TVA has fulfilled what they were
yeah,
trying
that's
to
what
do
I mean.
anyway.
It's a bow and everything.
Yeah, that puts a bow on the
I mean,
TVA.
remember, like again, my opinion, but I think there's a lot of truth to this. The only reason we have the multiversal saga is to figure out a way thematically to pull in the Fox universe, and those characters from all these different Earths into the MCU properly without trying to retcon and figure out why these people weren't involved or engaged in other things. I mean, you've seen, again, for those who saw the Marvels, you saw the X-Men in that universe. They were literally in a different Earth when Monica Rambeau punched through the barrier. That was a different Earth. You saw the incursions in Doctor Strange, Multiversal Madness, and you saw what happens when worlds collide, and then the Earths get destroyed. So you saw that. Like you saw these little hints and tidbits. Hell, the Fantastic Four itself was in Earth 828. So at some point, they all got to come together onto one Earth. What I'm saying is, I don't believe that they're going to beat the incursions. I believe what Doom is searching for in Doomsday is a way to amass the power to reshape the world in his image, but no one really knows what's happening. So while they're trying to stop Doom, I don't think they understand the magnitude of really what's going on. And I think he is the only one. He and maybe Reed Richards will be the only people who actually figure out what's going on.
Spoiler alert.
And then,
Spoiler alert.
the movie hadn't happened yet.
Right, the movie ain't happened, but you might be accurate.
Well, so if I'm accurate, we'll come back to it and say, well, but again,
right.
but I'm really only pulling from things that happened in the books. Secret Wars is an 8-issue comic book that happened.
Is Onslaught going to be a
Right?
present
Yeah.
on
No,
screen?
Neil.
No, no.
Moving too fast.
You moving too fast. You may see him in X-Men 97.
I'm not talking about that, but yeah.
Damn. So Doom gonna kill everybody then, basically.
No.
Oh.
No. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what's going to happen. If they pull this from the books, what happened in the books was
Spoiler alert for those that don't read the books.
Yeah, for those that don't read the books.
Early
Spoiler.
enough.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Right. Only a handful of people knew about these incursions. It was the Marvel Illuminati and Doom.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And they were trying to figure out how to stop the incursions. Reed does build a ship. He figured out a way to Reed figured out a way to kind of move above the incursions. So he made a ship that would survive the incursions, but they would still kind of be in this null space. Doom and Strange found out what was happening at the source of it, with the Beyonders. And they said, if you want this power, you have to get it. And Doctor Strange kind of relented. He didn't want the power. Doom took it. And so when the incursions happened, Doom recreated, he created Breakworld. And that's where, or Battle World, I should mean, and that's when he handpicked the people he wanted in this world. And then when you came back to the next, issue, it was, the world made after Doom's image, and he was, God Emperor Doom over all of it.
Right.
And then the heroes had to figure out, because Reed was in the ship, he wasn't brainwashed or manipulated by Doom. So when he landed on Breakworld, he still retained all the memories from what happened before. So he knew that Doom had done something, and he tried to reverse it. And that was kind of the plot behind Secret Wars. So I'm not saying they're going to go beat for beat that way, because they actually have two Secret Wars books. One that happened in the 80s, and then one that happened recently. But they could bring the two together, again, to create this one universe. Once Secret Wars was done, there was one core universe, and all the heroes were in this universe together. So that's how you had. And again, I'm not saying that he's going to be in the movies, but this is how in the books you have Miles Morales show up in the main Marvel universe alongside 616 Spider-Man. You had like Nick Fury from the Ultimate Universe show up. You had this sort of combination of characters from different universes all in now 616. That's how it happened. So that's why I'm saying that in the MCU space, it's going to be one universe. You're not going to have this multiversal saga anymore, but they can also now explain new characters that would have shown up because it would have been recreated. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the universe is going to reset, but the MCU is not going to reboot.
Thank God, because I don't think that it's possible, bro. Like, it's just got to be a passing of the torch, and uplifting other characters to become something more. You know what I mean? Kind of like how they did with Wanda and T'Challa. Like, they had a Avengers movie, and then boom, you introduced them, and you know what I mean? Like, or should I say Civil War, was it? You know what I mean? And then you just start introducing characters. Then you go, if they're popular enough, potentially you go for their backstories and whatnot and do those types of things. And, we did get Black Widow. We got Yelena, you know what I mean? And everyone loves her now. Oh. And then we got John Walker from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show, and then he did what he did. That was crazy impactful by killing somebody as Cap. That's what I wanted, Neil, for Spider-Man. Yes, that's the perfect example of what I wanted. I wanted that type of impact, like, oh my God, Spider-Man just killed someone. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the perfect example of what I wanted. That's the impact I wanted from Spider-Man. But not to get off topic.
But let's get on Spider-Man because here's something that could happen. In the first Secret Wars in the 80s, Spider-Man gets his symbiote on Breakworld. That's when he gets the symbiote.
Let's go.
That's when he gets it. So Spider-Man shows up there. That could be a great way of introducing Venom properly into the MCU Spider-Man universe.
Black suit Spider-Man.
Let's go. I said this, Neil.
So from that, do you do just the symbiote gets used by Spider-Man and only Spider-Man, or do you just do the spinoff and he just gets put on everything? You know what I mean? Where they had that storyline.
Nope. I would he'd be Black suit Spider-Man. He would, I would allow that to play out where you can now have Venom properly introduced through the means of, because the only reason he's named Venom because he hates the wrong word. He gets rejected by Spider-Man, and all of the emotions that Peter Parker had, along with the rejection, turned the symbiote into pretty much Venom. Like you made me feel all these things, then you rejected me. So now my venom is towards you. That's why he is named Venom. And then when he connected with Eddie Brock, who also hated, Peter Parker or Spider-Man at the time, they brought those emotions together. That's why he's named Venom. It wasn't because of some random occurrence. It was
I was today years old learning that.
Yeah.
Super hater.
No, a
Yeah.
double hater.
So
Brock don't like Peter, and the symbiote already was attached to him, so he knows who he is.
Right.
So then you attach him to Brock, so Brock knows that he's Spider-Man.
Right.
And I didn't even know that. How did I not know that?
Yeah.
Did I not watch the Spider-Man cartoon when he came out?
Yeah, you putting it all together.
I did. Wow. Okay.
So if that happens, I would let that play out, and that's where you could potentially have your moment.
Okay.
Because then you're gonna have Peter Parker who, again, through whatever machinations going on, is gonna have these emotions, and then the symbiote enhances those emotions.
Right.
So that's where you can have your moment where he, because again, and this is probably this is probably the perfect setup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, in Brand New Day, see how I got us back on the Spider-Man. In Brand New Day, everybody loves Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, people should start to not trust Spider-Man. And Black Suit Spider-Man could be that moment where it happens. And then he has to work to gain that trust back. Because now, I mean, at this point, even though people still don't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man's an all-time high.
Yeah.
Like, he can do no wrong.
He got the keys to the city.
He can do no wrong in the city. Right. At some point, there's gonna be there could be a mistrust, and that could be if they want to move it down that pathway, that could be a way they can do it.
And then would it really take him out of that space? Because then once the symbiote jumps onto Brock and they think that he's Spider-Man, but just more brolic, you know what I mean? Then they see Spider-Man fighting him. That kind of restores trust in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. It's writing itself.
Hell. It is writing itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this and it works chronologically, because this is a more mature Spider-Man experiencing all of giving these emotions to the symbiote, but he had to experience them first, and you're seeing it on screen. It's writing itself. Help. We're on autopilot.
Help.
But then this can go into the next iteration of the older Spider-Man, and then the next iteration, and it just keeps going. Yeah. And it shows the entirety of his career, and that in itself could become a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Just with more punchy, huh?
Right.
You're gonna make
more punchy. That's what Neil wants. He wants more punchy. Go play the damn game, Neil.
Right.
Beat the hell out of somebody.
I get it. They have emotions. They have feelings. And once you
don't make it sound emotional. Don't do that.
But
once
he loses Mary Jane. She remembers him. Spoiler alert, people. Again, she remembers him, and she says she don't love him, bro. How do you think he'd already lost Ned? He lost everybody. He lost RDJ already. You know what I mean? That was basically his tech daddy. Tech daddy RDJ. Or tech daddy Stark. He lost him. He lost Aunt May, bro. He was about to kill Green Goblin, man.
Yeah, he was.
And then you lose the love of your life, and you can't go to MIT. So you can't do nothing that you actually set out in your life to do. You not gonna be mad about that, bro.
You can't punchy circumstances. That's for sure.
I know they say don't plan for things in life, and just as long as you finish, as long as you get to the finish line, it might not go as planned, but just get there. But bro, come on, bro.
Yeah, you can't punchy all that. That ain't.
He can't even show his face no more. He was showing his face freely. I'm Peter. He can't do that no more. He went from total freedom of expression to you're a reclusive spider now, sir. Go sit down over there in the corner and wash your clothes and lay against the washing machine while you do it. Damn it.
I bet that scene tore Neil up seeing Peter by the washing machine.
What tore me up was that sad swinging he had to do after she told him.
Oh, man.
And he still had to drop her off at the crib. That was some of the saddest Spider-Man I've ever seen in my entire life. They didn't even show his face.
Well, you got to deal with it.
That's a man.
You got to deal with it.
You got to deal with it. That's life, bro.
See, that's the Spider-Man that I saw at that movie. Was him battling his emotions. That's what he was fighting.
Well, I don't know. Y'all got any closing thoughts? Because we've been going for 1:10. I think we covered everything. We covered our reviews, our theories. A lot of connective tissue by Reezy too. What you say, Neil?
Hey, I've been sufficiently pummeled.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You went 0. You went 0 for 99, Neil.
Post press conferences, you went out there.
Yeah. And you had to pick up your suitcase like LeBron did and walk out on the people when he was suited up like a super businessman. Yeah, you got to pick it up and get out.
Got the stick with the baggie on the end of it.
But yeah, y'all.
No, so yeah, I'll say this as I always want to say.
Let them cook.
First and foremost, go if you haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I mean, it made it made to date 1.1 billion already
with a beat.
So if you haven't seen it, go see it. It is definitely worth seeing. A+. Yeah. And as always, this is an amazing genre to be in. So I don't care if you are collecting the books digitally, if you have a comic book shop. Go grab a book, go grab one of the books, dive into these characters. There is no better time than the present to go do it. And don't be overwhelmed. Just pick your character and dive in. You want it to be, if it's Spider-Man, dive into Spider-Man. If it's Avengers, dive into Avengers. Just start somewhere and enjoy the ride. And again, just let the MCU tell a story, because I mean, for 40 some odd movies, they may have had a couple slips, but for the most part, it's been a joyful ride. So don't get ahead of yourself. Enjoy the ride, and you won't be disappointed.
Yes, sir. And make sure y'all follow us too. We have a Facebook page. Ron has a Facebook page. Reezy, Comical Minds. Look it up.
Comical Minds.
It's a gold logo, and we back posted on there, so you'll find the pod there. You'll find the pod on the Collecting and Connecting Network as well on the YouTube. On Ballin Till 2 a.m. YouTube. You can find me everywhere. Ballin Till 2 a.m. is everywhere. Opinionated MJ is everywhere. If it's not the underscore, it might just be Opinionated MJ without it. You'll see my little dude like y'all see him. He in the logo somewhere, if not just the logo itself. And yeah, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. We love y'all. Appreciate you.
Yes. Tell them bye, Neil. Tell them bye. 0 for 99.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ballin' till 2 a.m. Still got game in the tank. Turn the page, check the score. Then I slide to the rank. Opinionated MJ. Spit it clean, keep it real. Live on collecting all the hits. Connecting every deal. From the hardwood to the mic. I keep the run down tight. One more run, one more take. For the one still up tonight. Say it loud, say it clear. Who got the stats right here? Show report, big heart. I bring the game near. All until 2 a.m. All until 2 a.m. Sports update, here we go. Let the whole